Welcome back, everybody. This is once again Don Horatio bringing you Game 4 of this PvP series from the ASUS ROG tournament between QuanticSaSe and FnaticRCNightEnD. Let's get right into the action on the map, which is Daybreak. In the top right, we have the blue Protoss representing Fnatic. From Romania, I believe, it is NightEnD. In the bottom left, spawning in red, we have the Quantic player from Sweden. It is Sase. So last game, NightEnD used a Warp Prism 4-gate, very well executed to take advantage of a non-scouting Sase. He did not scout with a probe at all the entire game, and he tried to make a Nexus as well, which is pretty much a bad combination because any sort of aggression will do a lot of damage to you if you go for something like that without scouting, and at least seeing what you need to defend yourself from. And to be fair, even if he had scouted, the robotics facility was outside of the main base. It was proxied by NightEnD to make that Warp Prism, so doing a good job even hiding that little bit of information even more than he already did by not having Sase scout at all. So I would like to see Sase try a different build here. He's done the same exact build every single time, and in a more than a best-of-1 series, I mean, you've really got to try more than just one build. It's very rarely does one build just work for you the entire series and get you wins, and so far, I mean, NightEnd's up 2-1, so clearly the build is not working right now for Sase. NightEnD has basically hard countered it last game with his Warp Prism play, because if you're trying to defend the front with your army, you can't be in the back of your base to stop that Warp Prism getting in at all. There wasn't even a pylon back there. Sase needs to adapt his play to his opponent right now. He just is not doing that. So we'll have to see if he does make that necessary adjustment or if he just drops this game and the series. Both players once again going for a gate then gas. We'll see the core follow up at a very standard time. This is very standard opening in this matchup. There's no reason really to not do it. It really allows for any sort of tech options. We're not like Fnatic Oz in that one game he played where he decided that it was okay to go Nexus first in PvP, and he paid dearly for that, which made a lot of sense, and I'm glad he did. I do not want to see Nexus first succeeding in this matchup. That really would just confuse me a lot. Right now we do see the Cybernetics core is now starting to go down. And we'll see if Sase takes that second gas and that second gateway as he has in all of these games so far. And if he just sticks to that same build, and if he does, I don't really predict a win for him here, as NightEnd's kind of figured that out at this point in time. I'm also curious to see if NightEnD goes with a similar sort of like timing attack base play. No, he will not do that. I can actually answer that right now with that second gateway coming down. So he's going to go with that same sort of macro approach like he did in the first couple of games. Maybe try that 3-gate pressure he did and did not succeed at all in game number 2. But we'll have to see if he does that again or not. Warp Gate is being chrono boosted for Sase, which is a bit of a variation here. We'll see what buildings he starts to add soon. But NightEnd's probe is in there and sees that chrono boost on the Warp Gate. Very important to see that. We do have another gas coming down for Sase and a pylon. So it probably won't be a 4-gate unless it's a really high-tech 4-gate. We'll see if he decides to do that. But the second gas is now down for NightEnD as well. And he's doing the little 2 probes per geyser thing. That's kind of a build-specific thing, really just having probes on minerals and not on gas at certain times to really try and get that gas and mineral amount timed perfectly to what you want to do. Chrono Boost going down to the Stalkers really wants to get them out and deny any amount of probes. Second gateway for Sase, and this is a bit more reminiscent of the build NightEnD did in the first couple of games with the later gateway and that later second gas. So NightEnD is going to try and fend off this Zealot. We have a Zealot Stalker and a probe coming in. This is kind of a full gate feign, but there really aren't any more gateways to do this. So this is a fake here, trying to force NightEnD into a certain state of mind by thinking there might be a 4-gate coming and really try to change his build. But I think he's smarter than that, and with that cancel and the easy back off, he knows this is just a feint. And Sase does not really convince him of much of anything, I hope, in that maneuver. We have that 3rd gateway coming down. This is reminiscent of the build from game number 2 for NightEnD, so he'll have that option for that 3-gate pressure with that Warp Gate being chronoed and that 3rd gateway on the way. Whereas another Nexus from Sase, he's going for that expand play again with the robotics facility. Once again, playing pretty greedy in this PvP matchup, which is quite hard to get away with. And we'll have to see if this 3-gate pressure is attempted once again. We do have a pylon up here, so we just have a reinforced point to start with, and he might look to make one even closer with this probe, because it's really hard to kind of maintain any sort of pressure with a pylon this far away. The probe is now moving down, and we'll probably look to scout whether this base does exist. So I'm curious if you've seen that already. NightEnD has not seen that expansion yet. So he does not know what's up. But he's now moving across the map with these Stalkers, and he'll probably look to place a pylon right here. And right now, Sase does not know about that pylon. And I think the unit count well, the robotics facility is not even quite done for Sase. So he can find himself in bad shape if he can't get that quite out in time for the Stalkers. Right now, the unit count is 8 Stalkers to 1 Stalker and 4 Sentries, and that is not enough for Sase. And if NightEnD moves in anytime soon, he'll be in great shape. The Sentry count is up a lot higher now, so he can force field himself into his main, but his Nexus might be forfeit here. And here come the Stalkers moving in. Let's see if they can pick up some Sentries. They will not do that. Sase's quicker than that. But Sase will look to probably force field and defend. No, he goes for Guardian Shield, trying to do some damage to these units. Not the right choice there. We'll probably lose that Zealot. Not quite. Loses all the shields, though. And this Nexus into a lot of damage, as well as the probes. Good force field by NightEnD, followed by some good force fields from Sase as well to really hold those units in. The Stalkers are still all alive for the most part, doing some good damage. But he doesn't have Blink, so he can't really micro them that efficiently. The Focus Fire is not particularly great from NightEnD. This Immortal will look to do some good damage soon. And a lot of the Sentry's still alive, though out of energy for Sase. Well, let's see, I think a bunch of probes might have gone down there. Let's take a look at this kill tab. 11 kill for NightEnD already, so that's reminiscent to game 1 a little bit. Get that out of your way. And NightEnD is... Sase's doing a pretty decent job here. He did lose this Immortal, though, which does suck a lot. NightEnD Zealot's doing work, taking out those Sentries, and those are not units you want to lose at all. Good force field there to hold those Zealots off. Here come more Stalker reinforcements, and there's not a whole lot Sase can do about this, and it looks like he is in dire straits for this game, in very big danger of dropping this series. He just does not have the production. Another Mortal will pop out in a second, but not before he loses everything else. And the reinforcements from NightEnD should be more than enough to help deal with this Immortal. This Nexus is entirely forfeit. Probes are being pulled to help with this Immortal out on the field, but right now the probe count down to 22 probes is Sase, even though he does have the second base. It is utterly useless. And NightEnD is in a great spot to take this game, wearing that Nexus down to 0 hit points. Once that's down, Sase's lost his only advantage in this game, his ability to make more probes. NightEnD does back off a bit, but he can probably just engage this if he wants to, as long as he focus fires that Immortal immediately. Just pepper that Nexus for a couple shots more, wait for some reinforcements, and then go into these Zealots, which is a good move. Going to take some fire from that Immortal with the Zealots. 1 Sentry to force field that ramp, but it will not be enough for Sase as that Nexus does fall. And Sase, I mean, he fought well, but he did not adapt to his opponent. And his opponent adapted to him. NightEnD sees that every single map, Sase goes for this expansion play and just absolutely punishes it with this Warp Gate attack off of only 3 gates. He does have a robotics facility now and a Nexus, but this is a 3-gate attack. This wasn't some sort of heavy all-in 4-gate. This was a 3-gate pressure that NightEnD threw at his opponent and just absolutely broke the front. These 2 Immortals will allow Sase to hold for quite some time as he does tech to Colossi. We do see a Twilight Council on the way and this robotics facility done for NightEnD, so he will look to transition into some Blink. And once that hits, he'll basically be able to just manipulate the heck out of Sase, and he does have this expansion, and Sase will not. And the probe count is certainly in NightEnd's favor, 30 to 23, and he's in great position to take this game, even if he can't quite this moment. Because right now, there's no way for Sase. Sase needs to wait for these Colossus to pop to really move out and even try to secure this natural expansion. By the time that happens, this will be done and mining very efficiently, and he's going to be in a bad, bad spot. See what else is going on. The Observer for NightEnD is now scouting out what's going on in the base of Sase. Sase needs units to hold on right now, so he has no time to make an Observer. So he's going straight into Colossi. So this Observer will live for quite some time and be able to get all the scouting information NightEnD will ever need. Now starting to get that Stalker count up really high with that Observer, and Blink, he'll be in great shape to probably harass the crap out of his opponent and Blink on top of that Colossus before it could do anything. And that will do it. That should be the game when that happens. You see NightEnD is now mining happily off of this other Nexus, up by about 10 probes, and he'll be in great shape. Stalker force is now getting pretty big, up to 13 Stalkers, so the 3 Mortals, 1 Stalker, 5 Zealots, and a Colossus very soon of his opponent, who's dropping another Gateway as well to get up to 3 gates. But the production is just there for NightEnD as he drops a couple more gateways, and once this economy kicks in and extra production, NightEnD is going to be in a great spot to take this game. As if he wasn't already. But NightEnD basically adapting perfectly. Like, he knows he can't break this right now, and to try and break this would be foolish. He's just gonna get that economy advantage, and then use that to basically get up this huge army, deny that natural expansion, and force Sase to push out on NightEnd's terms and just hold it and absolutely crush the army. The Zealot charge even on the way for NightEnD, even though he doesn't have any Zealots with his army at all, I don't think. Yeah, I don't see any. He's just getting it because he can, pretty much. Going to add some Immortals into the composition as well, and Sase is thinking about moving down his ramp. He does have higher tech units. The 3 Immortals certainly cannot be discounted against the ball of only Stalkers. So maybe that's what these Zealots are going to be for with the charge at some point for NightEnD. He's considering the Blink, but does back off once again. to be a very tenuous situation for a while, but basically if NightEnD gets caught in a situation where he thinks he's in danger, he can just blink away as long as it's not on cooldown. And we should really remember that. He really can't get caught off guard, but SaSe's going to try and move out across the map and push with this army. But with the defensive advantage and also the blink tech, I think NightEnD should be in great shape to hold on to the second expansion, especially with all these zealots that will distract from that stalker fire. Let's see, oh, how many zealots is that actually? That is a fair amount of zealots. We do have now 10, plus this immortal and another zealot, so that's 11. So NightEnd's in great shape and should be in absolutely no danger in this game. But blinking to try and take out that probe and does get it and forces the cancel on the pylon. So no easy reinforcements for SaSe, who does not have any of the probes out on the map, unfortunately. So no more pylon reinforcements for him. And that already is just a bad start to an already doomed almost attack here, unless NightEnd really balls it up. Probably should look to position these zealots a bit better and get them out in front of the army, I would think. But these stalkers can't get one shot off and just blink back. So that also needs to be taken into account. They can just blink behind the zealots immediately after taking some shots on those shields and really save the zealots for a rainy day. Templar Archive's almost done as well to try and get even more tank out there. More units on the way as well. I still don't think there's a probe. Oh, there's the probe. It does plant that pylon in front. You're going to move in and just get absolutely destroyed, trying to see what's up there. And we're going to see some High Templar on the way and trying to make some Archons, and that's going to be great for NightEnd, as if it wasn't already in his favor. Archon's a very good unit in pretty much any composition to just tank damage and do that little bit of splash as well. Very good against Colossi-based armies. The Observer of NightEnd does look like that goes down. He should look to make a new one pretty soon. So that's unfortunate. But right now he's pumping out units to try and defend here. But he should be, like I said, he should be in very good shape. There go the first shots from the Stalkers and then blink forward. Good force fields though by SaSe to really mitigate the effect of these zealots, but there's still a gap for them to get in, and they're taking a bunch of damage. Archon doing a great job as well, melting the force of his opponents. There's the blink and the pick down that Colossus, and this will be the game once all these units fall. NightEnd holding this attack with ease despite the great force fields from SaSe, and there's the GG. Great overall play by NightEnd, and once again, like I said, I've said this over and over again, just no adaptation from SaSe doing the same build without really considering what's been happening in these previous games. And even if he did consider it, I mean, it didn't help. And NightEnd took advantage of this build and really crushed it with very simple aggression. It was a 3-gate pressure. That was not really econ debilitating. Doing a 3-gate, he expanded behind it. It was not an all-in maneuver at all, and he did great damage, taking out the Nexus. So many workers. The overall workers killed was 18 for NightEnd. And a lot of those were at that natural expansion and pulled probes. So just great play by NightEnd, taking into account the strategy of his opponent, taking the series 3-1 and moving on to the second round of this first group stage at the ASUS ROG tournament. Thank you all again for watching. And actually, I'm going to do a little bit of shameless self-promotion here for a second. I've actually started doing my recordings for my casts that I put on YouTube on my live stream, actually, which is twitch.tv/DonHoratio, and I believe I linked that in my channel somewhere as well, but I'll also start linking it in the description of my YouTube videos. So actually, if you follow that, you can see when I go online and start recording these casts for YouTube before I even put them up. I might even do just some practice sessions and some casts you won't even see on YouTube in live stream sessions, and I might even play some other games or something just to try and, you know, mix things up a bit, not do just casting. So please follow that, and also my Twitter is DonHoratio. So follow that as well. There will be links whenever my live stream does go up, so you can know when that's up, other than just following me on the stream site. So please follow me everywhere, and every subscription, follow I get really helps me out a lot in the publicity standpoint. So thanks for watching the series. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. There was one iffy cast in there, but I think this one was pretty good. And overall, I still think I'm getting a little bit better every time I do something. So thank you all for watching. I'm glad you're watching. It really gives me the motivation to try and get better. So I will see you all later, and maybe some more SaSe or NightEnd action incoming. In some more, I really do like these ASUS games, and they are replay pack. I mean, the replay pack was 1.5, the game version, so I don't need to leave Battle.net. But now I'm rambling, but that's just really nice for me. So thanks for watching. This is DonHoratio once again, and I will see you later.